What's up, y'all?
What's going on, world? How y'all feeling today? Everything all right in y'all side of town?
Man, let me tell you, I had a fun weekend. Let me just say that. My tip was 102, sweating all day, no energy, headaches, and it's gone.
Jeez.
It's gone,
Bruh,
gone.
was it magic? Was it you
Yeah,
that did it? Was it by happenstance? Like you gotta shine some more light on your testimony, man, because I know you told me behind the scenes, man, but just break it down into detail for the people, man, because I don't want to break the ice too much, but it's really just a matter of us tapping into the different laws that are at our disposal. And many people don't realize that, when we say that we're playing the game of life, life has rules, life has laws, and just like any other game has rules and laws. So it's our responsibility as people in these flesh meat suits that are walking this earth in this realm to be able to take advantage of those different laws and rules to our advantage. And many of us don't realize that we're actually tapping into those laws, and we think, oh, that was just luck. But no, we actually had to do some things, and many people don't understand the fact that we're tapping into those files or those negative laws, those negative rules that cause us to lose in life in some instances. And we tend to kind of go through life not being conscious of what we're doing. And today I'm really just looking forward to hearing you break down your experience and the positive laws in your life that you've been able to manipulate.
oh man, yeah. Everything you said, I agree with. I was just sharing this out with a few people. You all, anybody out there, share this out with your network. They don't want to miss this. Like, this is when we're going to get real personal today. Because this is why I tell everybody. They say, well, business is business and personal, and we don't mix those things. I disagree. My business is personal. So I take my business personal. So it is personal to me. This is part of our brand. This is what we do. So yeah, it means more than just some numbers. It means more than just meeting a deadline or hitting a quota or something. Like, this is my life. This is our life. This is what
Yep.
we do. Hey, Antonia, she always out there supporting us. I
Salute,
appreciate that.
Antonia. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, hey, so listen, you all. Let me put my banner up here real quick before we get into this, because I'm gonna put text WTF like I did in the last time. But yeah, you all, let's jump right into this thing. So for those that are on the call for maybe the first time, second time, third time, text that number that's on the banner right now. Text WTF, and we'll send something to you. We got some free ebooks and different things out there that we want to pour to the people. But listen, you all, so I've been really focusing on the law of attraction and really getting my brain wrapped around exactly what it is. And it's dope. I mean, it's the truth. And it's around us all the time. They have it in movies. They have it all around us, and we don't even realize what they're talking about because most of us just don't believe. Just be honest. We like, ain't no way I'm attracting this to my life. I want better. That's you. Everything in you is why everything outside of you is doing what it's doing. Everything within you, you're attracting to you. Like, if your stuff is not right, it's not the environment. It's not your mate. It's not the market. It's you. Why do we know this? There's been too many testimonials of people coming up out of the hood and becoming famous, rich. So it's not your surroundings. Well, I grew up with a plastic spoon in my mouth. I did, and you better not throw it away because we're going to watch that plastic spoon.
Yeah.
Hey, I grew up where I was so used to eating old bread. When I finally got some good bread, it felt like it wasn't done. It was so soft. Like, so I get it. I understand the struggle you all like. Your boy can write. Well, I did write a book on it. Actually, writing another book on it. But what I didn't realize is that it wasn't my surroundings. It wasn't my circumstances. Yeah, that might have started you off on a bad foot. But even if you think about when you were a kid and we didn't have much, how happy were we? With nothing. We were happy, running all over the place, playing make believe, using your imagination, just having fun. And then we started to notice life. We started to pay attention to our surroundings. And then I'm a victim of poverty. I'm a victim of circumstances. I'm come from a single mother. I was in the farm. All of that started dictating your programming. So now, what do I mean by that? Dictating your programming. So now, what you see as successful is different than what I see as successful. What Dimitri sees as successful. Your circumstances didn't happen to you, they happened for you. Because polarity is a big thing. You will never know what happiness feels like until you know what sorrow feels like. You don't know how to, and even if you knew what happiness felt like, it don't feel the same until you hit that low. So if you think about the ones that's been through the most, always attain to the highest of heights. Why? Because they know what it feels like to not have. And then once you stop blaming your surroundings and look within, oh, I know the secret. It's not based on a dollar sign. It's not based on a muscle. It's not based on looks. We have a secret power within us. The greatest of all the laws is the law of attraction. So, all right, Dimitri, I'm going to put you on the spot.
All right, what you got? What's good?
When I say law of attraction, what's your elevator pitch of what it is? What is it to you? And now, listen, everyone, there is no right or wrong answers. It's what it is to him. What does he think of the law of attraction? And how, and just give me your insight on that, and then we're gonna go.
Yeah. So, this is my first time really actually putting some deep thought into it. So, thank you for putting me on the spot. Now, the law of attraction for me means to be able to focus my thoughts on the things that I want to expand, whether that be having a great growing family, having abundant health, having abundant wealth, anything that I decide to focus my thoughts and attention, and even the work of my hands, that all encompasses the law of attraction. So whether my mind is going to some negative space and me not really getting my head wrapped around my thoughts fully and just letting my mind wander and having those negative thoughts come into my mind, that also counts as the law of attraction, because that's what I'm dwelling on, that's what I'm thinking about. And that's why the law of attraction is so powerful, because whether you want to or not, that law is going to stay active, in my opinion, and that's why it's so important for us to continue to control our thoughts, because our thoughts, in my opinion, is the primary driver. It is the magnet that attracts, that actual law. So, if you're always dwelling on, oh, I don't want to go to work today, I hate this, or if you're always a complaining and grumbling person, you're attracting that negativity. And don't be surprised if you continue to attract more negative and grumbling people. There was an old saying that goes, if you hang around 4 bums, you're bound to be the 5th. Why is that? Right? It's because of the law of attraction. You're going to attract people who you are most like. If you are a positive person, 9 times out of 10, those negative thinking people aren't going to want to be around you. It's not because you're a bad person. No, you're always positive, right? But if you ever notice, if you're always happy, or if a person is always happy, and there's always that 1 or 2 people that's why is she always smiling? Why is he always happy? There's nothing to be happy about. Like, because they're not attracted to that positivity. They're attracted to that negative, low vibrational train of thought. So the law of attraction works both, like you say, in polarity, positive and negative. So you can control your thoughts and you can control what's attracted to you. So that's kind of
Yes.
what it means to me.
Oh, I love all of that, bro. You touched on so many great points with that one, because the law of attraction is 100% accurate. It works 100% of the time. It's the best law. Like, it's like the law of gravity. You know, when you jump out that 10-story building, boop, ain't nothing else gonna happen. Like, that's a law. That's gonna happen to you. And the same law, even the stronger law, is the law of attraction. So a lot of people, what you said was so spot on when you say you have to make a decision. Now, it's not about learning how to run the plays. It's not about getting the greatest mentors. It's not about getting in the greatest program or buying this or VIP this or any of that. All of those things are good. And I'm not speaking negative of any of that. But it's one thing to get in the room, but are you the right person to be in that room? Are you at the right state of mind to be in that room? Because if not, you just in the room filling somebody else's pocket, listening to this motivation, rah, and when you leave, you back to you. Because you were never ready for that room in the first place. Why? Because we're looking outside. We're blaming everybody. We're wondering why we're attracting the things that we're attracting. Your thoughts are, here's what happens. Here, let me paint this picture for you all. It works both ways, like you said. Either you're gonna have good or you're gonna have bad. But the law of attraction is gonna give you whatever you're thinking about. Even I'm talking about, you can, well, I have good thoughts and I think about this and yeah, that's good. And you don't even believe what you're thinking about. But you definitely, I know this. I've been through this. You can't tell me nothing about this. This is your program. And this is why you're running the plays that other people are running and it's not happening. And now you're blaming the play. I'm going to blame the coach. I'm going to blame the mentorship. I'm going to blame the program. It's inflation. It's oversaturated. The economy's going down. I'm blaming, I'm making up all the excuses I can to not be successful. And we wonder why we attract the unsuccessful. I mean, like, it's so simple, but it's not easy. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It's simple, but it's not easy. Why do I say it's not easy? Because your old programming is very strong. And your conscious mind, we're not talking about your subconscious, your conscious mind's goal and desire is to keep you comfortable.
Hold on, E. What? I'm sorry to cut you off, but what is the difference between the conscious and the subconscious? Like,
okay,
I thought we had just one brain. Is it like we have a conscious and a subconscious?
Yeah, it's one big lump of matter. We ain't talking about the flesh, this earth suit, as you call it. We're not talking about this earth suit, yeah, or this big old head. We have a dual nature. We have two consciousnesses. We have a subconscious and a conscious. Now, the conscious is the leader. He's the man running things, your thinking, your thoughts. All of that is coming through your conscious mind. All your senses have developed what you're conscious to. Think about people in other countries. They're not conscious to what we're conscious to. But over years of experience, they've developed a conscious mind based on experience, what they saw, what they heard, pictures, and things that developed your conscious mind to where now you're thinking, okay, hey, Terrell, I see you out there, Terrell Sarver. That's my guy. So now you're thinking how to survive. Your conscious mind is teaching you how to survive, how to be comfortable, and how to be okay. Now your subconscious, subjective, meaning whatever you tell your subconscious, it believes. Whether it's a joke or whether it's real, it believes it. If you're in your, and they both reside in that big old head, So they there, but they go back and forth, and they go back and forth because again, the conscious mind is the no. I know what we've been through. I know where we've been. The subconscious mind is saying we can go anywhere we want to go. We can do anything we want to do. Let's use our imagination. We were in tune with that when we were kids, and we got talked out of it by our adults saying you need to grow up. But that subconscious, or you can call it your spiritual power, whichever one you want to call it, because it is spiritual. Your subconscious can know and get you anything you want on this earth, anything you desire, anything in other countries, it'll go out and get them. Your conscious mind is just focused on your thinking, your reasoning, all of these, that's your conscious mind, but your subconscious mind is quiet. And it picks up the most when you're asleep or when you're meditating is when it steps up. Like, think about this when you're asleep. Do you have to think to breathe? You sleep. Do you have to think to keep your heart beating? No, your subconscious developed you into what you are. It was that seed, that core when you first was in your mama's belly. And you were just that little tadpole. Your subconscious was designing your body. It was designing everything because it's all powerful. It is literally the God in you. Yeah, I said it. It's the God in you. It's the same thing Jesus talked about, Muhammad talked about, Buddha talked about, Confucius talked about, and all these other great ones talked about is everything. If you believe, now think about that. How am I gonna believe? And I've been through all type of hell all my life, and that's what I believe in is the hell. When Jesus said, "You got everything within you, and you're gonna do greater things than I did." This man raised the dead, healed the blind. Every time he raised the dead, what did he do? If you believe, it was all about your belief system. Because people call them miracles right now. Once you tap into your subconscious, you can literally be given a death sentence from a medical whatever, you cancer, anything. If you're that in tune with your subconscious, it can fix it all. Here's a quick example of me. And some of you all saw me live on Monday and on Tuesday. Monday, I was live with Lonzie. Tuesday, I was live with Rosa. If you go back and look, I was green around the gills. My wife is an RN. I had 102-degree temperature, sweating during the live. I mean, I felt horrible. And then I made a decision. And I woke up this morning like it was a miracle. My wife, she said, "Hold up." I bounced out the bed at 4 o'clock and started getting busy. Went upstairs and bounced on top of her too. And, then had a strategy session at 11, went to a college at 12, just got back doing this live right now. And I feel fantastic. Yesterday, she was finna take me to urgent care. And I got an affirmation right here. Let me read part of it to you all where it says, "Infinite intelligence leads and guides me in all my ways. Perfect health is mine, and the law of harmony operates in my mind and body." I say this multiple times a day. And then I had to ask myself, do you really believe that? I said, yeah, I believe that. Then what you want? I want to be perfectly healthy. What did I do? I woke up. Man, listen, this is real.
Let's go.
Man, I'm going to keep going, and you're going to have to cut me off.
Man, cook.
Because, man, even let's use my sons, for example. So before we get into my sons, which is a great example, let's talk about this thing, the law of attraction. Sum it up. You are a walking miracle. You are made in the image and after the likeness of God. The first thing God did in the Bible, you can look it up in Genesis. He said, "I created." He created. The first task he ever did was creation. And he said, you can do the same thing. You can create anything you put your mind to. How many times you can do anything? You can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. We've been told that all our whole lives, but then our mind is telling us, man, this stuff is whack. I can't do nothing. How I'm gonna do this and how I'm gonna do that. So we smother it out and then we blame God. God ain't helped me. God wouldn't have put me in this rut. Why would God let them babies die? Why would God let this happen to the world? Why would God? And God's sitting back there thinking like, come on, man. You are my son. You are a deity made flesh. Even Jesus cried out to God and was like, God, why you forsaking me? And he the greatest man ever walked this earth. He still found himself weak and asking his pops, like, why you got me on this cross? When he was in there for 40 days and 40 nights, guess what? His earth suit was hungry and he was weak. We talking about divine flesh, and it still was weak. So this is the laws that we live in this universe. They're designed for us to have everything we desire. It's not designed for us to go through poverty. It's not designed for us to be without. That's not how we were designed. We are walking miracles, one of one. And all our life, we've been programmed to work. We've been programmed to struggle, to grind, to survive. It's going to be hard. Don't nothing come easy. You got to earn it. And God sent back like, I didn't tell you that.
Abundance is everywhere.
I told you were made in my image and after. Do you see God struggling? Did he struggle to create? No, he just spoke it into existence.
Oh, yeah.
And guess what? We can speak it into existence. The way he created this universe, you can create your universe by using your words and tapping into who you are and whose you are. Whatever is around you right now, you're attracting it to you. And it's hard. It's a hard pill to swallow because you're like, man, I don't want these struggles. I ain't. Yes, you are. Because you keep talking about what you don't want. When are we going to talk about what we want? It's too simple, man.
But let me
listen. It's too simple. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah. And let me jump in just for a couple of minutes before you talk about your son. One thing I want to touch on with what you said was very important is our words are very powerful, and in the Bible it said life and death. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. So if we continue to speak, death over ourselves, life cannot come to us. If we continue to speak negativity and the things, like you said, and the things that we do not want, how can we get mad when we don't see the things that we don't even speak into our own lives? Typically, man, go ahead.
Hey, Les Brown said, I wanted to jump because what you said is perfect. Les Brown stated that 87% of what we think about is what we don't want. It's the negative. 87% of our thoughts, and on average, they say it's 60 to 75,000 thoughts that run through your brain every day. And 87% of those are negative. And we wonder why our surroundings look as they look. When even I love Genesis, one of the greatest books. I think the greatest book in the Bible is Genesis, but that's my opinion. What did God say? In the beginning was the what?
Word.
And God was what?
The word.
Bro, people don't get that.
And even taking it further.
Word.
And even taking it further, we when you came down to Atlanta one time, and me, my wife, and you and Chris, we were sitting at the table, and I said, universe. What if you break down the word universe? When God created the universe, it literally, he spoke one word, because uni is one, verse is word, one word. So it's all in the words, y'all. It's hidden in plain sight.
Hey, and you know what people say? I don't speak death over myself. Yeah, you do. You don't even realize what you're saying. You are battling. You're having a battle right here every day with every great idea you got. You're talking yourself out of the idea. Or if you say, no, I'm going to do it, Let me go holler at my partner. They're like, man, you crazy. Ain't no way. Everybody is designed to talk you out of it. If that's your circle, if that's the type of energy that you're bringing, if you're weak enough to be talked out of it. But here's the depth. Here's some of the things that we speak depth over ourselves, and people don't even realize this. When we say, I'm not good at this, that ain't what I do. Ain't nobody in my family ever been successful. I just want to get by. I just want enough, because them rich people, they don't need all that. So now you're telling the universe you don't want to be rich. You're telling the universe that you have a problem with money. You're telling the universe you just want to get by. And hey, everybody listening to this is getting by. If you wasn't getting by, you wouldn't be on this live. You're getting by. God is giving you everything that you want, because this is all you say you want. And my challenge is, let's talk about some better things that we want. We're not talking about what the needs. We're not talking about the past, what happened, and forget all that. Don't wear that on your sleeve. Don't carry that burden unless you want to be burdensome, unless you want to walk around with a heavy load and you're in your 20s, looking like you in your 40s. Like, man, so I have to tell this story because we're going to go late on this one. So if you got time, bro, that's cool. But so I got to make it personal. Like I said, you all, I've struggled with my I got 3 teenagers living in my house. And I struggled with them all last week, this weekend, and to the point to where I got headaches, and I believe I made myself sick or get a fever for 2 or 3 days. I was down, all because of the mental drain and the stress and the evilness that was going on that was cloud. And I'm wondering, why do I feel sick? Why do I feel like things are down? And because it was happening all up here. If you want something to happen outside of you, it has to happen here. Because everything that's happened outside of you right now happened here. Again, it wasn't your circumstances. It wasn't how tall you were, what age you grew up in. I wish I'd have grew up in the baby boomer era. No, we way better than the baby boomers. We've evolved. Your children are better than you. And people don't want it. Why should they not be better than you? Ain't that the goal? Every generation gets better. So why are we telling them to start over? Why are we telling them to do it my way, the way I grew up 30 years ago? And we saying this is the way. No, it's not. So again, I was struggling with all 3 of them. Young men becoming men. And I'm whining. I'm slinging snot, mad, foaming at the mouth. I'm so mad, disrespecting me. Rah, 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 rah. And then I meditated on something, and everyone jot this down if you haven't. Here's one sentence I want you to try to meditate on twice a day. And the declaration is this: I am the master of my thoughts. If you don't master nothing else, master your thoughts. Remember, we got 60,000 to 75,000 a day until you get an emotional connection with them. And now you're emotionally connected to these thoughts, but your emotions are being programmed by some things you went through. Mm-hmm. Now that programming is not a good emotion to tie to that thought, but you think you're doing good. You think I got some, but your emotions, your hurt, your pain, your suffering, what you went through is why you have emotional identities to certain thoughts. And that's why certain thoughts pop in your head, and a thought can make you cry more than somebody pinching you. A thought will hurt your feelings more than somebody actually punching you. Your thoughts are that strong. So meditate daily that I am the master of my thoughts, because we're going to take it back to the subconscious and the law of attraction. When you make that declaration, and you, at the beginning, they ain't going to believe you. Your subconscious is like, yeah, we don't believe it. that small, that still small voice that we talk about is telling you like, you don't even believe that shit yourself, man. That ain't true. You know it ain't true. And you just heard one of these great speakers say that, and now you're repeating it, and you don't even believe it, but it sounds good. Here's what I'm gonna tell you. Even if you don't believe it, if you want it, keep saying it. Keep meditating on it. Because eventually, when your subconscious says, wait a minute, you putting a new file in this program daily, twice a day, maybe more. This is a new file saying I am the master of my thoughts. And then, okay, it gives you whatever you want. Now you are mastering your thoughts. So now that 60 to 75,000, you don't have the emotional ties to poverty. You don't have the emotional ties to family, to the economy, to the weather. Some people think so bad about the weather that it messed their whole day up. They lay in the bed, and yeah, like I say, I'm gonna go for a minute on this one because I'm hyped. They lay in the bed, and right when it's time to wake up and go to work, what do a lot of people do? I did it. I may be the only one. What do we do when we're not motivated? We sit there and think, damn, I hope this car starts. It's cold outside. It's hot outside. It's damn traffic. I know they doing construction, and it's gonna be a horrible day. I gotta go. My boss want to talk to me today, and these ugly ass kids getting on my nerves. I gotta get them ready for school starting, and you still in bed. You ain't got out the bed and brush your teeth yet. These are the first things these are the first thoughts that you have an emotional tie to. And now guess what? Your 17 trillion cells in your body says, hey, y'all, he said he's going to be miserable today. The traffic going to be bad. And this is going to happen. And that's going to happen. And these kids are getting on his nerves. Now go to work. We're going to give him what he wants because you just stated it. You made a declaration that this is what it is. And the body, people always say, listen to your body. Your body listens to you. Your body does what you tell it to do. Now, we do need to listen to our bodies because the check engine light will go off, but that's a whole nother topic. Your body will do what you ask it to do. You done push your body way further than you ever have at times. Your body wasn't trying to hear that. Your body wasn't telling you, your hand saying, come on, we can do more. No, this up here is telling you, come on, let's do some more. And you stretch yourself and you push yourself. Now your conscious mind is saying, hold up, we're out of our comfort zone. This ain't what we do. We only do 40 hours a week and barely do that. Why are we doing 44 hours a week? Why are we going above and beyond? Because that ain't our comfort zone. But here's what I'm going to tell everybody, and I'm going to wrap it up with this and give it to you, Dimitri. We ain't got to get off, but now things are great with me and my boys like that because I made a decision. And you know how I made that decision? I asked myself, what do you want? Don't keep telling yourself what you don't want. I don't want to get caught up in traffic. You might as well say, I want to get caught up in traffic. I don't want to go through the day struggling today. I want to go through the day struggling today. That's what your body and your mind is hearing when you tell them what you don't want. How about you tell them what you want? And what I did was I said, I want to have a great relationship with all my kids. I want us to have fun. Now, me and Junior ain't talked for a couple weeks. The day that I made that declaration, he comes in the garage. And we normally fist pound because their hands is nasty. But he did this. He put his whole hand on top of my bald ass head, made me jump. Like what? He used to always do that. Now he's back to being my boy. Like now we're back having fun and being goofy again. Why? Because I said this is what I want. Finances. Like I could go down a lot of different ways with this, but here's what I'm gonna tell everyone. If you could envision anything in your head, no matter what the goal is, the car, the house, if you can see it in your head, you can hold it in your hands. But do you see it? Do you truly desire it? Because if you do, you can hold it in your hands. It's people that have came over far worse than what you're going through or what you've been through. Don't feel like ain't nobody been through what I've been through. There's people out here dying for your life. They would feel like they were in paradise in our life. And you sitting up here thinking you've been through the worst. Go do some volunteering. Volunteer at a homeless shelter. Oh, it'll change your whole life. And you'll realize, man, this ain't as bad as I thought it was. And it could be so much greater. You can have anything you desire. As I stated, number one, meditate and state, I am the master of my thoughts. Because your thoughts is what's either holding you back or pushing you forward. That's the tier concept. The thinking plus emotions plus actions equals results. This is the law of manifestation. If you want to manifest things differently in your life, change your thinking, change your emotional connection to your thoughts, and your actions will produce better results or different results. Or keep the same stinking thinking. Or we can even go deeper than that and say, why am I thinking this way?
I was just about to touch on that.
Because the tier concept works, but then your thoughts are still capped. So why am I thinking like this? Why am I starting the tier with these thinkings? Because there's a reason for that. I think you've been to touch on that.
Yeah. I mean, and I think there's multiple ways, there's multiple reasons why we think the way that we think as people. And I'm pretty sure that your reason will probably differ from mine. But the point that I was going to touch on is society has a system set in place to keep itself running. And society cannot run unless we as the masses, as the population, unless the population is subservient to the system or continues to feed the system by way of being employees and by having the lower mindset of thinking like, oh, I can't be an entrepreneur because it's too hard, or I can't be an entrepreneur because it's going to take too long, or I have all these excuses that we tell ourselves why we can't break free from this matrix system is what keeps the system running. And the reason most people are middle class and in poverty is because they've fallen victim to that lower level of thinking, and they've fallen victim to that negative side of the law of attraction that society pushes to us. And it's a reason why most movies are like shoot 'em up, kill 'em up movies, like killing people is horror movies. Like you never really see any uplifting, positive movies that really want to bring your spirit up to really lift you up to a higher level of thinking. It's
normally a flop if it is.
Exactly right. And like music is one of the biggest drivers of culture. Why is that? Because like if you've ever like heard the saying, this song is stuck in my head, and like you catch yourself saying these lyrics, like the beat sounds good, but the words that you may be repeating over and over again in your head and be speaking out loud, it may be some negative. Exactly, it's something negative, and that is the law of attraction subconsciously playing through to your conscious mind, and your conscious mind is speaking it out. And like we said, words are powerful, and life and death is in the power of the tongue. So there's a reason why the powers that be want to continue to push this negativity into our minds and program our minds from birth. And us as parents, we continue that cycle unknowingly because we're programmed and we haven't really checked our thoughts. So as soon as we check our thoughts and stop those negative programmings from seeping through to our conscious mind and coming out into the real world, at that moment, we can stop any negativity and turn it into a positive. And at that point where you check your thoughts and you start to think about what you're thinking about, if that makes sense, you think about your thoughts, then that's when your whole life changes. Because most people go through life on autopilot. They, go through the same routine and they don't really check themselves. And they wonder why they're in this perpetual cycle of poverty or unhappiness or depression, because it's more than likely their diet, their mental and spiritual diet, is not up to par, because they're taking in negativity through the media. And if you're watching the news, which you probably shouldn't be, if you notice when the news first come on, there's a saying that goes, if it bleeds, it leads. And if you notice, every time the news come on, it's something that, oh, this fire happened, this person got shot, and like the news is always negative. There's a ton of positive things to be spread out across the world, but they tend to focus on the negative, because they want to keep us in this low, depressed, vibrational state. So we can continue to stay subservient to the system and continue to feed the system and keep the people at top who know how the law of attraction works, to keep them in power. But as soon as you tap into what your own God-given gift is and your own power, which is the tongue, control that speech, control what comes out of your mouth, and your whole life will change for the better.
Oh man, yeah, like bro, like I wish I could get people to really understand this, and I'm learning it. So one of the things I wanted to touch on too is that the teacher needs to be refreshed of the lesson, because we as coaches and teachers and parents and mentors, we pour into people so much that we neglect ourselves sometimes. A lot of times we want to serve everybody except you. And you the number one, baby. You the top dog. Whatever accolade, whatever you want to call it, the top chick, the boss bee, whatever you want to call yourself. But yet you're pouring into everybody else. And I'm a servant leader. I do pour into other people. But oftentimes, every day, I need to be renewed, refreshed, and reminded that, hey, you matter too. You are important. You're the main thing, and nobody is more important than you. I love my kids. Listen, you are the number one. You are the head. You are it. So what I challenge everyone listening to this and watching the replay is, if anything around you is not going according to your plan, look within. It's not the people around you. It's not the situations. It's none of that. It's all you, because you haven't stated what you want. I want to be rich. Well, compared to the bum, you are rich. So be more specific about what you want. Quit being so broad. I just want to be happy. Kids are happy. But they don't have a sense of what money is. I don't want no money. I just want to be okay. And you live check to check and complain about why you're okay. That's what you wanted. Why do the rich get richer? Because they focus on it. And what you were saying about this secret, during the industrial ages and back in the day, and all these books that we listen to and we read nowadays was not public books. They did not give this to the public, you all. They didn't want the public to know. Why? Because they needed a military and they needed a workforce. They could not let you in on the secret that you can have anything you want without college, without the military. Now, if you like guns, go to the military. Don't nobody want you shooting up the place around here. Go learn how to really shoot guns and do that if that's what you like. You can have whatever you like, whatever you desire. I never forget, and I'm gonna wrap it up with this. I never forget that when I was in prison, and this is in my book, I told him I was gonna be the six-figure end. When I got out, I had a GED, 7 years left on parole, no resume to speak of, and I just got out of prison, and I don't even have a vehicle. But while I was in prison, I told him, I said, I'm gonna have a desk. I'm gonna have an administrative assistant. I'm gonna be at six figures. I'm gonna be in a suit with a briefcase. This was my vision. I focused on that every day in prison. I got out in 2007. By 2013, 6 years later, I had a master's degree and I was making like $125,000 a year, owning my own home, driving a Jaguar, bonding plies, the same one. And guess what? I didn't get off parole till 2014. Man, look, you can't tell me this does not work, you all. I know. And here, even my skeptics out there that are saying, yeah, I still don't believe it. What you got to lose? Think about that. Are you the king of what was that word I said? You're the king of your comfort zone. Think about that. You're the queen of your comfort zone. So everybody the king and queen of their comfort zone. I'm saying step out of it. Stretch. You say you want more. You say you desire more. If you desire more, you cannot remain in your comfort zone. It will never work. It won't. You cannot do the same thing expecting different results. Einstein told us that. But Einstein also said, your greatest gift is your imagination. So I challenge you, imagine yourself doing greater. Imagine yourself having greater. If you don't care about money, imagine yourself serving greater. Because guess what? You can serve a whole lot more people if you got a whole lot more money. So if you really want to serve some people, stop being selfish and saying money ain't important. The church ain't going to tell you that. Man, they going to pass that basket. This we serve. Am I lying?
Nope.
And I don't knock them. They right. You do need that to be able to serve enough people. So if you in the business of serving, then stop saying money's not important. Because if you keep saying that, then money is forever going to be a stranger at your gate. And you're only going to get enough to survive. And we already talked about that, you all. We've been through survival mode. We survived all that. We survived the towers dropping, the pandemic. We know how to survive a whole lot of things. But right now, what about thriving? Focus on thriving. I know I dropped a lot of different gems, and you did too, bro. I'm on fire because, like I say, for the last 2 days, your boy been in bad shape. Like, really.
You can't even tell by how much energy you putting out, man. This is infectious, y'all. And you know, if I'm gonna say this last thing, and I think we need to close because we're pushing up on an hour. But you know, this relationship that me and Ernest have, it is a testament to the law of attraction. We were brought together, in my belief, by way of our belief in the law of attraction, and it was divinely ordered. All praises to the Most High God for that. You know, you were the first guy that I met at the mastermind, and we continued our relationship, and we just clicked like brothers. You know, so and this talk on the law of attraction, y'all. If y'all have found any value, give us a comment, give us a like down below, and you know, just kind of touching more on what me and Ernest have going on with the WTF, What's the Formula Men's Mentoring Academy. If like this is just, even though we went deep and we touched a lot of different topics today, y'all, best believe this is going to be a weekly thing. This has consistently been a weekly thing for all of our mentees who are in our program. And if you found some value as an adult from the things that we've said today, just imagine how much value a teenager that you know, or even your teen, would how much value they will gain from understanding this knowledge at such a young age, pre-adulthood. And they can then begin to use this knowledge to shape their life and expedite their process to whatever they consider to be success in their life, and change y'all's whole entire family tree. So if you found some value, text WTF to the number below, 314-970-3918, and we'll send you all of the information that you need to feel comfortable moving forward with us. And yeah, always remember, focus on what you want to expand. And here at the WTF Academy, WTF not only means what's the formula, but we also teach our teens to win through focus. So we teach them how to focus and get those wins in life. So that's all I got for y'all.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate everyone out there. I have nothing to say to follow up to that. My man always closes us out good. You all just, again, watch this again. Share this with other people because the gyms, like, somebody need to wire me some money for this. Somebody listening to this, like, you know what? I'm going to send them some money because that's so far. But no, I'm joking. I'm not here to get your money, you all. We're here to uplift everyone with the formulas that we apply to our lives and to teenagers' lives, and we want everyone to win. You all can definitely win at whatever you're doing and hit different levels if you truly desire it. Just tell yourself, what do I want? And when you find that answer, take action. Peace, y'all.
Peace.